You can go ahead and say hey to Dad.
Darcy.
Oh.
Darcy.
Hey guys,
Hi.
it's Vinny and old Darcy here. It's old Darcy and Vinny.
What's up?
There her is. I wanted y'all to get a good shot of her, so I thought I would bring her in close.
My nose is tickling your ear.
And she's in close. Darcy do, Darcy do, Darcy do. Darcy do, Darcy do, Darcy do, do, do. Darcy do. She's like, I love this attention.
Hello,
I
Darcy.
love it.
Darcy. Hi.
Are you saying hi to Shannon? Are you saying hi to Shannon? Are you the cutest girl?
Yeah, she is.
She's
a
so
cool
cute.
girl.
Look,
She's a good
y'all give Darcy a
girl.
thumbs up. She'll be offended if you don't. She'll be so offended.
She'll come pee on your foot.
She could. She could. Can I pet that dog? That's what Kim said.
Can I
I
pet
say
that
that to
dog?
Thomas all the time about
Can
his
I
dogs.
pet that
Can I
dog?
pet that dog? I love petting dogs. If you ever bring a dog around me, I'm petting it. I'm going to ask first. Always ask first.
Thank you all for the birthday wishes.
It is Shannon's birthday.
Okay, you can zoom out of me.
It's my birthday.
I'm gonna set her down. It's
It
killing
is
me.
Shannon's birthday. All right, Darcy D. Now you can roam around.
Not
Now
peeing
you
on
can
my
roam
foot.
around. Watch, she will hit her back. She's like, rub my stomach. Rub my tummy. Okay.
Roll my belly.
Rub my belly. Let me do this first. Okay. I don't have any new product to show you today.
We got a ton of product back in stock though.
Oh,
This
did
week.
we?
So
Can you think what? The Taylor's not here today, so
we might need to do a little bit of a walk around so people can see what
I don't
all
have
came
the access
back
to
in.
do that in this live. We might can come back to that in a second.
But we don't have to. I mean,
Let me show you. Amy Stanley came to visit. I'm going to show you this now so Vinny can get into it. Look
I'm
at this
tired of waiting.
adorable card that Amy brought. This is my early birthday present, by the way. Look how cute this is. Love it. Thank you for inspiring me to not stress about it. That has become my mantra in many aspects of life. I guess being over 50 helps. Amy Stanley from Hampton, Virginia. Listen, 50 is changing me, so we'll see what happens. I'm not there yet, but I'm ready for it. So look at this. From the peanut shop of Williamsburg, we have salt and pepper, sea salt and cracked pepper nuts, hand-cooked Virginia peanuts, and dark chocolate Virginia peanuts. Did you see this?
No.
I'll let y'all dig in. There's
Peanut.
that one. And then Vinny's waiting on this. He's waiting on
Yep.
this.
The peanut brittle.
And peanut brittle. Oh gosh, I got a little
I want
tickle.
to see the peanuts. You can see the brittle.
And peanut brittle.
I gotta be nosy. Hand cooked
Peanut
need to come back.
brittle.
sea
Let's open
salt.
Come back.
Y'all, we're not in a hurry today, so if you have a question, we won't be here long if you don't. If you have any questions, let us know because I don't have much to show y'all. I do have some stuff to tell you. This is Vinny's favorite. If you were going to give him like a snack or a
Sorry,
candy,
Darcy.
it
I
is
was
his
loud.
favorite. I love it too.
That's what I always buy my mom and
Oh,
daddy.
it's perfection.
When I go to the mountains, I get them. And most of the time I get cashew brittle though, because Mama loves cashews.
I like cashew brittle too.
I've never seen salt and pepper peanuts.
Are you trying those? Good? I've got that in my mouth and it's probably enough. Oh, here's some cards. I didn't see these. To Maymay and crew.
These are yours. Lightly salted, Maymay.
Oh, are they?
Lightly salted. There's only 20 milligrams of sodium in that.
That's good. To all the wonderful people at Maymay Made It, I've enclosed at least 100 cards for the card ministry. I don't have people to send these to, but I sure do like making them and other paper crafts that are on the videos. It's only been since the first of the year that I started watching your videos on YouTube. It really gives me something fun to watch and educational too. It's great to see people that truly enjoy working with each other and sharing themselves with each other. Y'all are funny, and the time just flies by during your videos. Keep making them, and I look forward to your birthday bash. I signed up for the whole week. Tammy from TP Handmade Cards. Thank you so much for the cards, y'all. She's getting those cards out faster than you can, I guess, what's faster than what? What's Southern for fast? PDQ. Thank you so much for the cards. We really, really appreciate them. And I'm looking forward to spending the week with you. If you don't know, let me say it now because there'll probably be questions. We're having an online class event. You can attend online from home, okay? The birthday bash. You can find it at maymayevents.com. It is selling out. It's getting closer and closer because all the bundles are now gone. Now, we thought about, y'all tell me what you want me to do. We thought about doing some class bundles only, just the 4 classes, because we've lost the Make It Go Round is now sold out. But you can now go purchase the classes individually. And if you've been watching our behind the scenes, you can kind of see what all comes in your kits. I really think you should consider at least one if you've never done it before. Ain't nothing fast in the South. That's the truth.
Those of you asking about stamp sets that have been out of stock that we've been telling you they're coming back, they're due to be here a little later than we thought, but no later than 3/31.
Okay, now we know. This is a note from Patricia. Dear Maymay and Vinny, here are some more cards for your ministry. I love making cards for you. Some are pretty good and some are just okay. But as you always say, I won't stress over it. Thanks again for your teachings and card ministry. I love you and all your staff. May God bless you all beyond measure. Love, Pat McGlue. Thank you, Pat. I like your stationery. That's neat. And look at her pretty card. And this one can be used in the ministry. Also, thank you for the card, y'all. It's so kind. You may not understand what our ministry is, but this is a perfect way to describe it right here, this line. So we have a card ministry. You can send cards to us and we'll send them to people that use them. And here's what she said. I don't have people to send these to, but I sure do like making them. That's exactly what this is about. Because I see our card making as therapy. And if you can sit down and make cards knowing they'll be used, you don't mind doing it. And if you send them to us, we send them out. Now, let's say you're the other side of that coin. You want handmade cards, but you don't make them. You can also contact us. Our email is info@maymaymadeit.com, and just let us know you would like to receive a box of cards. And we send out, I think it's 50 at a time. 50. Is she scratching the door?
I don't know if she did.
I think it's 50 cards at a time you get, but we'll send them to you, and all we ask is that you send them out. Shenanigans.
Okay, I'm going to repeat myself because my mic was turned off, so I was not crunching peanut brittle in the microphone. So you should be able to hear me fine now. But the stamp sets that were out of stock should be back in stock no later than 3/31. I expected them to be quicker than that, but that's the number that I got when they sent me the proposed ship date. So they're supposed to be here no later than 3/31. Art Glitter Glue, we did get an email from them this week saying it's okay for us to order again. So we will be placing an order with Art Glitter Glue, so it should be here soon. We still will be dealing with colder temperatures, so we'll have to pay attention to that for a little while longer.
I'm going to have to fuss at Kelly Beach. I'm going to read this, and y'all hear why I'm going to fuss at her.
Aww.
I'm going to call you to the office, Kelly Beach. Ready? Okay. Dear Maymay and crew, here's my donation for your card ministry using the February Scripture Club set. That's gorgeous, by the way. I have not done much ink blending, so this was good practice. See how she ink blended the back? That is beautiful. Plus, I was using some glossy on one side cardstock that my husband found when cleaning out his office. It proved to be a challenge when all the sentiments I had stamped on the front would not set, even with heating. I had to go back and emboss everything. I just kept telling myself, we don't do perfect. I can see all the mistakes I made, but I still think they turned out perfectly lovely. I just have to tell myself no one is going to notice these things that I notice. They will simply enjoy the pleasure of receiving a card. Thank you for all you do to bring joy to so many people. Your friend, Kelly, in Collierville, Tennessee. Here's what I'm going to say. You don't even have to tell. You don't say it. You just don't say, oh, there's so many mistakes, right? You did wonderful. And I love what you said about, they turned out perfectly lovely. And she put perfectly in quotes. They are perfectly lovely. I love them. And this is the truth. No one is going to critique your card. The thing is this. Sometimes when a person goes to their mailbox and there's a card in the mailbox, it really, not sometimes, I think all the time, the first thing you do is not open the envelope. What's the first thing you do when you get a card in the mail? When you get an envelope in the mail, what's the first thing you do? Let me see if there's an address.
I'll try to see who it's from.
Try to see who it's from, because your thought is, what thoughtful person sent me this? That's what we think, right? And that's what I love. That's what we do with cards. Look how pretty this is. Kelly, you did a great job. I'm just messing with you. I know, and you have a very good mindset about it. And thank you for not deciding they weren't good enough, because that means we get to use them and be honored recipients of them. Thank you so so much. Shannon, this is yours.
Tamara asked a question about art glitter glue. Does it completely dry, or does it stay a little tacky like Tombow glue?
It completely dries. I'm
Beautiful.
very well aware of Tombow. Let me tell you about Tombow. A lot of people don't realize Tombow glue is called Tombow two-way glue because when you allow it to dry in the open air, it dries, but it remains tacky because it's a temporary adhesive.
I got you.
But if you put something on top of it while it's still wet and it dries like that, then it's a permanent adhesive. And it never dries. So for example, if you're gluing these beautiful flowers down and you get some out here, it's always sticky to the touch. That's why I use it to restick my Cricut mats. Whenever I'm wanting to restick mats, I use it and I just paint it over here and let it air dry and it becomes sticky and I can use it. These have just been restuck, by the way, using Tombow. Art glitter glue, on the other hand, dries clear completely, and the bonus, it dries matte. Now, not a lot of glues dry matte. Barely Art dries matte, doesn't it? Let me read it. I don't have any issues with Barely Art, so it must dry matte. It just says dries clear. This one says just dries clear too, the Art glitter glue. Now, I'm in test of another glue. I'm in testing a glue right now. But the thing about that glue, I'm a little bit afraid that it doesn't dry completely. That's something I wanted to test out too. But I am testing another glue, although it does not ship in the cold weather, so it doesn't change anything. If it's great, it will ship just like the other stuff.
The question about the finger knife, I want to say it came back in stock, but if it didn't, it's on the way.
Yes, Zig is from Tombow. Zig two-way. Tombow is a two-way. Aren't they made by the same people, Zig and Tombow? Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just saying it. Wait, one of them is made by Sukaniko. Is it? I don't even know. Just words are coming out of my mouth. That's what's happening. Look at this beautiful card. Look, I love this use of paper. Look how pretty this is. This is Shannon, a birthday card for Shannon. It says, have a wonderful day from Rhonda Ferris and Tara.
So sweet.
Beautiful. I was thinking about Tara. I need an update on Tara. Rhonda, if you're watching, please give me an update. Also, I bought them shoes, Tara. Are they the same? Somebody correct me. I could be wrong. I don't know. I only use my Zig for the two-way for these mats, but Tombow dries exactly the same. It does the same as Zig. Okay, sending birthday hugs to Shannon. Have a wonderful birthday. Lots of hugs, birthday wishes, and lots of fun and summer kisses. Love from, I can never say her name right. I'm going to say Fionn.
I think it was Fionn.
Fionn. It's 2 F's. It's really pretty. What a nice card. You got some really pretty ones.
Thank y'all. Thank you all. Thank you all. And the peanuts are delicious.
Did you look it up?
Who, me? No. Sorry.
Sue, I'm testing it now, and it does have some differences. I'm just going to say that. It does have some differences. But I've been talking to them, and you'll hear my update on that soon. So, what is the glue bottle? This is Art Glitter Glue. What are you doing down there, ma'am? Y'all all heard her, didn't you? Somebody said stopper toppers. We do not have them at this time. That I don't know if that'll ever change, but right now we do not have them. This is the one that I am using. My bottle is so old. This is the 2-ounce Dries Clear Art Glitter Glue. Listen, of all the glues out there, everybody has to debate everything. And I don't care what you're debating. I do not care what it is. You can go look. Either somebody's going to be in love with this glue and somebody's not going to like this glue. And somebody's going to be in love with Barely Art and somebody's not going to love it. And somebody's going to be in love with the one I'm testing and somebody's not going to be in love with the one I'm testing. The reason I'm not showing you that one is because until it's passed my test, I'm not recommending it. And I hope y'all appreciate that because that's how I am. It's got to go through a pretty rigorous test. And I used it all day yesterday in some sample making. And that's when I think I found an issue with it that I've got to double check. So I do not bring anything to you I haven't tested. This glue right here, you will never be sad about Art Glitter Glue. Never, ever, ever. And
unless you don't want it to dry fast.
or unless you freeze it or heat it. But honestly, although they tell us we can ship this in the cold, it also says keep out of extreme temperatures. So it also says it. But here's what I'm gonna tell you about art glitter glue, because people talk about the price of it. The issue is this: do not overuse your art glitter glue. So many people do. First off, if you got a bottle this size and you don't have a look, Shannon's like her. I wasn't gonna say it.
Accidentally.
If you have a
need a
bottle
fine
this
metal
side,
tip.
you have to have a fine metal tip. Do not try to use it without. You need so little of this glue. I will tell you this. I had a 16-ounce refill. Shannon will tell you. She's worked for me. She knows. I had a 16-ounce refill. I opened it when I was in Verbena, when we were working in Verbena. We've been here 2 years, okay? I know you're not supposed to do this because they say they only last a year. I have refilled this bottle on my desk for the past 2.5, almost 3 years from that one 16-ounce bottle. And I promise you, I craft more than you do. So if you're using more glue than that, it's too much. You shouldn't be. Trim your glue usage down. You literally should be scratching it on the page. We're not making a bead of glue. We are scratching it on the page. Now, are there places where I like to do a bead of glue? Yes. If I want to be able to move something for a second, I do. If I want to put a bead of glue on foam to add it or something like that. But I don't know how to describe that to people except to tell you, a 16-ounce refill bottle, I just emptied it. I even pointed it out to you and Brenda. I said, y'all, I just finished this 16-ounce refill 3 years after I bought it. Now, what's the trick? Keep it in a room that's climate controlled for the most part. My room at night is not climate controlled, but it doesn't get bad in here. And shake, 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 shake it.
That's right. You got to shake it.
Shake, shake, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Nobody
shake it, shake
believed me when I said shake it.
Uh-huh.
If you shake it, it'll go back to working.
That's it, Mills. I have tried a lot of glues that y'all don't know about that I don't bring to you. And I may not bring you this one, but I might. And I'm talking to the people about this one that I'm trying now. I actually contacted them and they contacted me back, which I was glad of.
Terrence said he might challenge you on that.
Which one?
Him crafting as much as you.
You might, Terrence. You do make a lot of cards. You do.
Just a little FYI, if you're having glue warpage, you're most likely, or paper warpage, you're using too much glue, because I did it yesterday making a sample. And you used a tiny bit of glue and it held just as well and the paper didn't warp.
I mean, a tiny bit will do you.
Yeah, tiny bit.
I don't have a way to show you because the problem is this.
I didn't think I was using a tiny bit the first time I did it and the paper warped. So I used even less the second time and it all stuck and is still sticking and my paper didn't warp.
I don't have a way to show you how much I use, and the reason is this. Camera makes it look like a lot. I've even pointed that out to Shannon. I'm like, Shannon, look on the screen how much glue it looks like I'm using and look on my page. What I want you to do, I'm going to challenge you guys to do this. I want you to use, even if you don't have a problem, I want you to use half the amount you normally do. Try it. You'll be surprised. Yeah. What was that? Wanda still has the charity bottles and she's using them. I'm telling you, you can do it. Did I use too much if my card get hard? Yes. If your card's getting hard, you're using too much. It does not. Now, I will tell you, the one I'm testing, that was one thing that kind of threw me, was that when I used it, I was going to show you that. What did I do with that? I glued down, look. Well, I felt like that got hard. I'm still testing. And listen, I know y'all want things yesterday, but you also want me to know for sure before I tell you, right? Mad Cat, I think red line tape is fine. I just do not like dealing with having to cut it, and I do not like dealing with that red tape sticking to me. And I know all the tricks for keeping it from, but I do not like it. And I used to use red line tape. Nothing against them. Their product is a great product. But I used to use it back when I worked for a company, and that's they used to only market Tombow, and they used to only market red line tape. This company I worked for back in the Middle Ages. That's what it felt like. It was so long ago. And I cannot stand that in my workflow. That's why I like a sticky tape, because a sticky tape is just stick it down, tear it, and rip it off. So,
Suzanne, which particular gnome pack are you asking about?
We don't know them if we have it.
we don't know.
Okay, come on, jump. Just don't hit your head.
Yeah,
Come
I think You know, somebody said one time, it's not fair that you don't show us all the stuff you test because we might buy it. You know, we might buy something you say is not good. But I really don't know how to do that because here's the thing. I cannot bring everything I test to you. And secondly, I'm not going to just badmouth product. I feel like that's bad-mouthing product, and I'm not going to do that. If it doesn't work for me, I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, because just as it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else.
100%. 100%.
So there's no point in bad-mouthing something.
Right.
And besides that, why would you want to criticize someone's hard work designing it and putting it together just because it doesn't work for you? That's not very sensitive.
I have the tonic glue to try. We just haven't yet. You know, we got that one and another glue sent to us. It was the tonic glue, and there was another one sent to us. Those two we haven't tried yet. Remember that came in that little round tube? I think they're in that drawer. I usually try to put stuff like that over there. Anyway, what other questions? Yeah, KC, I don't think score tape is strong enough. Sorry, it's not. I love Elizabeth tape. I tested, and Vinny will tell you. Shannon doesn't even know about this.
Yes, I was here.
Were you here for that?
When tape left.
When we lost sticky tape, we had sticky tape for years, and it was a no-name product that came from China, and I got it from a friend of mine who sent me some one time to play with, and I freaked out over it, and you guys bought it by the droves. We loved it.
I couldn't keep it in stock.
And then China changed their minimums on how much she could get, because she was buying it and then distributing it, and they changed the minimums, and she couldn't afford to do it, and she even tried to get Vince to go in, but they couldn't do it at the time, and I had to go on a test for new sticky tape. And I've used score tape in the past because, again, there was a time when it was the tape, you know, and stuff like that. And it was just not as sticky as my sticky tape, right? So I had to go search. And I tried a lot of it always sounds bad when I say this, terrible tape. But you know what I mean? Hand-tearing tape. Tear-able, yeah. And I settled on Elizabeth tape. And I love it. It is sturdy, sticky, and it really does a good job. I love it. What works in Alabama may not work in Washington. I don't know, because here's the thing. We have to remember, except for humidity, we're pretty much living in climate-controlled spaces. Yeah, except for humidity, because you do have that. Because I do have, the other day, did I tell you what happened in here? That tape, the fabric tape that was loosening up, I came in, I think it was like Saturday. One day I came in by myself, and we had a pretty cold night, and we just recently discovered, y'all, we didn't even know this. So I've been working in a non-climate controlled studio for 2 years, and we didn't know. So we found out recently.
We can control it in the summertime.
Yes, but we found out recently we don't have heat in the back of our building. We did not know till like a month and a half ago.
That's why Shannon freezes to death.
That's why Shannon freezes. We didn't know because we all have space heaters, but when we were in Verbena, we all had space heaters. It never got warm enough for us, you know. So when the guy came in to fix our, to turn the gas on, we didn't know our heat was gas. We thought it was electric. We just thought it was not doing a great job. Because we have 2 units in the building, so it's just a long story. But anyway, I came in the other day and some of that tape had released, and my room was kind of wet. And I was like, okay, we're going to have to deal with this because I can't have a wet room. Now that I know, I'm noticing it. Why did I not notice it before?
I don't know. Maybe because we've had such fluctuating temperature the last little while.
We have had. But you know, we did have that one time we came in.
And everything felt
and everybody out there was like, something's up, what's going on? And we didn't know what it was. So I don't know. So humidity will mess with you. Man, I wish we didn't have humidity.
I got a poor Shannon. Oh my gosh, I made it to the Vinny category.
What'd you get a poor Shannon for? Being cold?
Being cold. Woohoo.
I'm trying to read all your stuff.
Art Glitter Glue does not have glitter in it. That's just the name of the company. It is just white, looks like Elmer's type glue. It does not have glitter in it though.
The company is actually called Art Glitter. That's the name of the company, Art Glitter. This is their glue. That's the way to say it, but we call it Art.
No glitter in the glue.
We call it AGG around here, but it is made to work with their glitter. They have incredible glitters, which we don't do, but if you like it.
We don't glitter. We like to sparkle in
Can
other
we
ways
ship it to
besides
Zimbabwe?
glitter.
I mean, I don't know of any restrictions. What's your go-to cardstock for bases? I got asked this question the other day, and I realized something. almost said this very Southern. There ain't no specific answer. I don't.
What you doing? That's the cardstock answer for the bases.
It's the same answer for everything. And I don't like it. I wish I could say to you, this is the only one I will use. But we realized the other day, because we had a lady come in and she's like, what's your poundage for bases? And I went, I couldn't answer that question because it depends on what I'm making. Like if I'm making wedding invitations, party invitations, something like that, I'm going to use a heavier, nicer cardstock. I want it to feel like the event. That's what it is. You want it to feel like the event. If I'm mass producing and I'm having to use a lot of cardstock, I'm going to use something like that PA 110 pound that cost me $9.99 a ream, and push those cards out. If I'm making a card that doesn't close, I'm definitely going to use Not Your Mama's. That's a great one for that. You know, if it's a card you're just sticking to the front and sticking to the back, that Not Your Mama's makes it almost like a piece of cardboard. And you know what's funny? After we said that, I realized it's the same with everything. If you said to me which Cricut machine to buy, what are you using it for? That's what matters, you know? If you ask me what trimmer, I almost feel like that now because we've got so many in our stash that we use that I pretty much lean to my Cricut, but I can see how you guys change them up.
I like to dress my craft just because you can leave the score tool on it and I can carry the trimmer and always have a scoreboard. But
it's crazy that
but you don't like my trimmer, and I don't have anything against your trimmer.
This is Darcy.
I do
that
like
I'm
your
holding.
trimmer.
It's
I do
just
like your
annoying.
trimmer.
When you get if you're used to using one, it's not as easy, but
I like your trimmer 100%. Like I have no issue with your trimmer. Matter of fact, even when I reviewed it, I think it's a great trimmer and you're not sad to have it. But because I've used my trimmer for so long, when I think trimmer, I look for this. I don't look for the Dress My Craft
yeah.
one. I wish there was an easier question, easier way. But it's even like this. What's the best black ink for stamping? What you stamping? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really hard. That is so hard, and I don't like it. I wish I could give you just one answer, but I can't.
And I'm not a crafter, so this is different from me. But isn't it a lot of personal choice?
Well, I mean, if you're alcohol coloring, you don't want to stamp with VersaFine.
I don't think it is, because here's the thing. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there again, that's personal choice because someone else thinks they're right too.
But it all matters what you're doing.
Can it be personal choice? Yes, it can be personal choice. Yes, it can. But if you said to me, I'm making wedding invitations, I need to make this many, I want them to look like this, blah, 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 then I could tell you, this is the glue, this is the ink, this is the cardstock, this is the sentiment, this, you can't pull it out of the air.
So it's not so much personal choice as much as it is project choice.
I think the
I
project and the product
that determines
drives it, which I wish it
which
didn't.
one you prefer.
Do y'all agree with that? I want to hear what people say. I want to hear what y'all.
I mean,
think
it's like hunting boots. It's like guns. It's like anything else. What you're using it for determines which one's the right one to use.
Okay, so let's say that you're going to start an exercise program.
Okay.
And you need to buy a pair of shoes. When you go to buy a pair of shoes, they're going to say to you, what are you going to do? If you're going to do yoga, it's a completely different shoe than if you're going to run.
Or walk.
If you're going to walk, it's a completely different shoe if you're going to run. And unfortunately, with most craft products, that's the case. Except for like...
Means I just have to shop more.
Foam tape? No. Foam tape is foam tape. Scotty. Sort of. Unless you don't want to cut it.
But we have the squares. But I mean, I use Scotty for big long things or
True.
bigger areas.
True.
But then also you use the little squares for tinier things.
Now, Miss Alabama brings up
A great point.
topic, but I want to speak to that topic too, okay, just for a second. She says a lot of it is driven by budget. I agree with that because I too at one time was raising 4 young boys and feeding them and clothing them, and so crafting was the last thing we budgeted, right? So in my mind, I would go out and buy dollar ink pads and dollar stamps, and I would buy, $5 paper and really, really cheap glue, thinking I was doing myself a favor. But when I was able to afford the more expensive things, I realized I was buying 2 or 3 or 4 of that item before I would ever use up this item.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
there's also that, and I didn't see that on this side. When I couldn't afford it, I didn't see it here. I saw it. I'm gonna spend $1 here, but that ink pad would dry up or not work right, or just those dollar ink pads were rough.
Well,
You know.
I'm sorry.
It's like they tell
You
you with
tickled me.
expensive shampoo.
I know. I
You
laughed
buy
and
this
it woke you
expensive
up. I'm
bottle
sorry.
and it may be smaller, but you use this tiny, tiny little amount to wash your hair with, where
Sweet
the other
girl.
you have to use more of it. And I mean,
And the only reason I wanted to talk about that budget thing is because I've had a lot of people say that to me, but I'm on a budget. Okay, here's the perfect example. Shannon's going to laugh because she knows I say this to people all the time. If they say to me, I'm new to stamping, okay, what stamp blocks? I always say this. If you can afford a Misty, just cut out the middleman. You will buy block after block after block, and you will not enjoy your stamping, and it will be harder for you to learn because honestly, blocks have a learning curve. The Misty does not.
no.
And so rather than spend $20 on a set of blocks, which are now more than that because they were 19 3 years ago, but now they're like 22 for my favorite blocks. So you spend $22 on that, or you save up for a few months and get the Misty, and you won't dislike stamping.
The only thing you gotta learn with the Misty is close your door and move your cards so you don't mess yourself up.
Make sure you reset every time. Yep. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like
But you'll be happy in the long run because if you're just starting to stamp with the Misty, you can set it up and figure out how to get a perfect stamp where you can't get a perfect stamp if you mess up with a block. Because I mean,
it's really interesting because I think I'm looking
well, I
around the
mean,
room.
if you get it right the first time, it's right. But if it doesn't stamp correctly, it's harder to go back and stamp over the top of it.
A lot of people won't understand this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm trying to look around the room at different things I have and what's happened to me in the past. Okay, my Cricut machines. When I first got my Cricut machines, I was like, I don't need to buy the pens that come with it. I can get these aftermarket ones that I see all these people do, and I can go to the Dollar Tree and buy these cheaper pens and put them in and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's a huge workaround. It's a workaround. I have to make, I remember at one point, I know this isn't anymore, but I remember at one point we would take pens and wrap them with rubber bands and stick them in the housing so that they would work. Well, by the time I've spent all that time doing that and gotten rubber bands and keep a stock of those and then use my markers until they're dry, if I just buy the Cricut markers that snap right in and my colors match what's on the screen, like it is a little more expensive, but my markers work for years. Like, I don't know because y'all need to know, no one was cheaper than me before this was my career. Agree? Maybe Shannon. I'm kidding.
I
That's
was
just
say
for
I'm
you.
cheap.
But honestly, Vince will tell you.
Blake bought me shoes because he knew I'd just keep going to the store and looking at them.
I wouldn't.
She still does that. I still have to pull the trigger.
It depends on things I'm
Blake,
interested
pull
in.
the trigger, not me.
Let me see another topic. Okay, April asked a good question. But for those who can't afford a Misty, what do you suggest? Do we have them in stock? Because I don't want to.
The press.
These
the
guys,
block.
my favorites. I don't want to start anything.
The Fisker blocks?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. These are
There
my
are
favorites.
7 in stock.
Okay, there's a few in stock, and we do try to keep these in stock. These are my favorite. Let me tell you why. If you start out with blocks like this, you guys never, ever, ever, hardly ever see me use this kind of block. Although this is what I started with because I could buy them cheap, okay? The thing is, the block itself is so thick and chunky that by the time you add the stamp to this super flat surface and try to maneuver this guy in your hand and the stamp, etc., this is a little hard to manage, okay? This guy is so lightweight, and look how thin it is. It really does not impede you. It's not like you're holding, and Shannon's never used, I don't know if you stamp before me, but I have some bigger blocks. I mean, I have long blocks like this. I have all these different sizes.
The Fisker's blocks are 1,000 times easier to use.
And the other thing I love about it is if you have hand dexterity issues, this one allows you to put your thumbs into here and put pressure outward. You see how I'm doing that? So it's like you're locking it. It's almost like you're becoming your own press, right? And then the other thing I love about these is they don't they do not feel like I'm holding something before I ever get to the stamp.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I feel like I'm holding the stamp because I'm not pushed away from the top. Plus,
Yeah.
another thing I want to tell you, even if you can't, I mean, this set is amazing. With this set, you get everything you need. The only thing you don't get, this is what comes in this set. Sorry, Doris, I saw her ears jump. You get this big one, then the next size, the next size. You also get this press. This all comes together. Doesn't this all come in that same kit?
You get the little one, the medium one, the large one, and the press.
And like I said, this is like $22. Okay? The only one you don't get is the biggest one, and I don't have it in here, the one that's for like background stamps and stuff. But this takes you, we never use any other one except the Misty. It's this and the Misties.
Yeah.
They are fantastic. If you've used these, tell us what you think. They are fantastic. They're easy to line up. They have good grids. The other thing I love is this. Look. So this is a 1 1/4 inch block. Where's my 1 inch block? It's funny because my 1 inch block I use as scissors. So here's my 1 inch block, okay? I want you to see that the 1 inch block for this even allows you to get your hand out of the way so you can see. Do you see the difference? This 1 inch block, when I go to stamp with it, I can't see what I'm doing as well unless I go like this.
The Fiskars are just very natural holding.
With this one,
I don't know, they're just right.
the 1 inch is in here. I still have all of this space around it. I can still see what I'm doing. They're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Highly recommend them.
I want 2 sets of these. Kim, I suggest if you can afford having 2 sets,
Yes.
because especially if you use SVGs like we do, it's
sets.
so cool to load all the stamp set up.
3 sets.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
and
so
they
cool.
do keep your fingers out of the ink.
They do. We Are Memory Keepers has a platform that's affordable. I'll tell you something, but I've tried it. I've used it on my site. I've shown y'all and all this kind of stuff. Listen, just talking to a lady yesterday. I love We Are Memory Keepers. I bring y'all the products that I adore from them all the time. Just talked to a lady yesterday, and hers was, I wish I'd have saved up a little longer. Like, if you've never used a Misty, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Anyway, it's one of those things. All right, love those blocks. If I'm not using Misty, that's the ones. I agree. I have to tell y'all something, especially if you're new. I know we have a lot of new viewers on the channel because we've grown so much. I promise you, number one, you don't need a lot of supplies. You probably think I have everything known to man and every new thing out there. I do not. Oh, this is cool. I'm glad Shannon's in here. So we recently watched a workshop. I'm not going to say who with. We go to a lot of workshops, okay? Because when people are dropping product, they do these workshops weeks before it hits the streets, and we get to see them, right? And we'll be watching these workshops. And the projects that the people are doing with things like, I'll use, for example, dies. Y'all know I have a thing about dies. And we recently were watching, and this die was so cool. We were like, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I said, Shannon, how much is it before I like it? Did I not say that?
Yep.
So she went into the paperwork because they send you all the stuff you need to know. And she went and looked, and it was like $40.
It was expensive.
It was expensive. And I was like, it's squares. I was like,
It's like, we can make that. We
it's
don't have
squares.
to have it.
And I was like, I can't do it. I can't bring that die in when we could make that with squares. Now, here's the thing, and I've told y'all this before. If a die has shapes that I can't cut by hand or with an electronic cutting machine or something like that, then I see more of its value. But when it's something we can do ourselves, I'm not that person. So if you saw my craft stash, you would be surprised how little I use to accomplish what I accomplish. So don't think you have to have everything out there, okay? You don't.
I need to interrupt you for just a second. This question's been asked several times, and I've been trying to wait till you took a breath. The question is, how do you store your markers?
I should not. I shouldn't tell them because it's not right. It's not
There's
right.
some Cricut pens.
Okay, look. These are fine. I store them upside down. These are my markers. Well, these are the fine ones, but I store them upside down. And then these are my pens. They're just in this little container. Here's all you got. Just store them upside down. I don't. I'm real bad about it. We don't put them upside down. Just store them upside down. Here's the thing about a pen. when you're storing any pen or anything, and it really should be even your regular pens if you want them to last for a while, wherever their ink flow is, store them with that ink facing down. Now, I don't do that with my stamp pads, and people say you should, but I don't. But store them with the ink facing down. All that does is keep the ink moist where it should flow versus letting it dry out upside down like this. So just store them upside down, and I just put mine in a cup.
Oh, how do you clean stamps? Somebody said they were new to stamping.
Okay, I love to tell y'all that. Do we have
And
any?
it's on order, by the way.
Because he's like, he knows I'm gonna fuss. I use Squeaky Clean. This is oh, what happened to my camera? It blipped or something, or did I hit it? I use Squeaky Clean. It is my favorite stamp cleaner. Brutus Monroe, my friend Christopher, makes this. It is great. And I want to tell you, we've tried some other ones. We tried one recently, and we were like, absolutely no. And I like these guys. Matter of fact, they're right in that drawer. Second one. I like these guys. Vinny buys me these on Amazon. So multi-surface micro cloth cloths. But look, they pick up everything. But I don't care. I use this one until it's dead. It's got glue. But I keep one on my work surface. And just today, did you see I put them over there? I got extras because we said we want to put them all around the room. So I use my Squeaky Clean and this guy. Or, depending on what I'm doing, I do love my Nuvo mat. Okay? So I love the size of this one and the way it stores. And with this one, since you're new, you will squirt one side. Okay? And then, here's a stamp over here that's dirty, by the way. I just saw it earlier. Then you have your stamp on your block. Listen, don't take your stamps off your block when you clean them. Trust me. Keep it on the block and then take it over here and rub it like this in the wet side. And then rub it over here on the dry side. And then you have a clean stamp. See? Now, why do you not clean them off the block? Because you don't want to touch the backs of your stamps any more than you have to. And you certainly don't want to put a cleanser back there when you don't have to. Okay, there is a time to have to. When they lose their stick, you wash them with a little warm soapy water, let them air dry. Never put a paper towel on your stamps. Never, ever, ever. And use baby wipes only when you have to. Baby wipes work as long as they don't have lanolin in them. And use them only when you have to, because they will, as a baby wipe dries, they will leave lint. And then you have that to deal with. Vince says it is on order. I'm like you. I have this one and my refill, and my refill's about halfway gone. So I'm with you guys. Yes, Tamara says alcohol markers should be stored flat. However, I do not store my tonic ones, my Nuvo ones flat, because I store them in their containers they came in, and so far we've been okay. The Brutus Monroe scrubber was fantastic. Did he ever bring one back? I loved his scrubber. But I like this one because I get the two sides, where with Christopher's, I had to make my own two sides. I had to do it here and then over here, but this one I like with the two sides.
And it's also black, so.
How do I store my stamps? Now this won't.
Messily. We're bad stamp storers, y'all.
This won't work for everybody, okay? But this is how I store my stamps. These are from Brutus. These are what does he call these?
Stamp sleeves.
Storage sleeves or something like that. This is the what is this? This is the 5 and a something by the 7 and a something.
It would be the 6.125 by.
No, I think that's the other one.
8.1. Well, there's 6.125 by 8.25, 4 by 9 are the slim, and 6.25 by 6.25 are the fat ones.
Well, let me say this. Mine are super old. He might have edited the sizes.
Yes, he could have.
Because this one's old. This one is holding hair peeking. This one's been around a while. Okay, here's what I do. Now, you don't have to do this. See, I have to have 2 stamp sets, because this is the one I show y'all on camera, the nice, pretty, clean one. And this is the one I use. Christopher is good. I just talked to him this morning. So, that's how I store mine. And then what's even better, could I show that one clean? Can you reach that little crate? Y'all need these. These are fantastic. Now, it doesn't, again, this won't work for everybody, but I get these at Walmart for 97 cents. There's these little mini crates. Here, if you want to see the end of it. Of course, it's blurry because of my camera, but I get these, and then I do this. And this size and our bigger stamps fit in here. And I fill these up, and I usually will put a label on the end down here saying what's in it, you know, whatever category it is. And then I have a bookshelf, and they will fit 3 to a bookshelf like this. That's how I keep them. I really like them. I really like this method. It's the best method I've done so far. Tim says to store ink pads upright. I'm so proud to hear that. A lot of people don't. Here's how I feel about it. If your ink pad comes in a container that makes you store it upside down, then I think you should store it upside down. But if it comes in one that sits upright, I think you should store it upright.
My car has wheels, so I keep it on them.
Okay. So, I've enjoyed chatting with you guys today. I want to mention something to you as we get ready to close and start to pray. 2 things. One, our friend Gareth, y'all know he's a very good friend of mine, and he is a friend of the channel, and he's a friend of you guys. He has been a very big part of our channel for a long, long time. Lost his grandmother this morning. They were expecting it, but it doesn't change anything, okay? If you could reach out and let him know that you're thinking about him. If you would like to send him a card, I would encourage that, but I would ask you to send it to me so I can forward it to him, because I'm not going to share an address. And I don't have a P.O. box for Gareth, but it will take it a while to get to him, okay? But we can get it to him, and it'll probably be better, because if it's like me, I'm better with sympathy cards later than right at the point anyway. So if you guys would like to send a sympathy card, our address is on our website. Did she get something? Oh. So please be in prayer for Gareth and his family. They also are going through some other things, and I would like for you to keep them in your prayers. Secondly, you guys don't know this person. I've mentioned him before, but the person I buy my Fenton art glass from lost his dad last night, and he's an 18-year-old young man. It's just him, his mom, and his dad, and he lost his dad, and I would like for you to keep him in your prayers. His name is Max. If you could keep him in your prayers, I would really appreciate that. If you feel led to send him a sympathy card, you can also send it to me. If you would just put it on the front, for Gareth, care of Maymay Made It, or for Max, care of Maymay Made It, if you would like to. I know they would appreciate it. And I was able to speak to Gareth today, and y'all just remember him. They're just going through a lot, and so every extra prayer would mean a lot for them. We love you guys. We're going to be praying for you. That's sweet. Will the puppies be wearing bunny ears for Easter?
No.
They're not big fans of them. They're not big fans of clothing. But please keep so many of us have been through loss this year in so many different ways, or the last 2 years, and it's almost strange how, I don't know. It's almost strange how it's becoming part of our everyday conversation with people, you know. So, please, was G on the other show? I never saw him.
He was. He told me happy birthday.
I did not see him. How sweet that he did that.
Uh-huh.
So please be in prayer for him. And again, reach out. If you're a friend of his on Facebook, if you go to his, if you would like to follow his groups, his Facebook group is created. Actually, he changed it to Acorn and Oak.
It is Acorn
Is
and Oak.
Tamitha's mom had a fall. I have another prayer request in just a second, but also a praise report. Tamitha, can you put the link to Gareth's Acorn and Oak Facebook? What is she doing, being the boss? Also, for Tamitha, I want to tell you guys something. We didn't talk about this a lot on the channel before this, but we did mention it. Tamitha went in for her esophagus surgery. I'm sure there's a name for it. And they were able to double her airway. That is such a blessing. But also, we were praying for that before that surgery, that they would also find out if she was a candidate for a permanent solution. And they found out that she is a candidate, and so that will start to move forward. And I don't know the details from here, and I think Tamitha's even still learning the details at this point, but that is coming up. She had a tracheal SX. SX stands for something, doesn't it? But we are so grateful that they were able to give her twice the airflow, and we were so grateful that she is a candidate for the upcoming surgery. So keep her and her family in your prayers. Also remember about her mother. I did not know that. I just found that out. And there's Garrett's Facebook group. So if you guys would like to go join his group and then let him know that we're thinking about him, I always encourage you guys to join his group. Gareth is just a sweetheart, and he loves to share surgery. He loves to share home decor with you guys, and he's doing a lot of that. I know that's his way of coping with things, so you're going to see a lot of things he's doing. And anyway, go love on Gareth, please. I would appreciate it if you would. He's my buddy. And anything else? Did you have any prayer requests? Our praise report was that she's a candidate.
Thank you all for the birthday wishes. It was very sweet.
God is good, y'all, and he never stops being good, and there's always a praise report, always. But I just wanted to make sure that we reach out and give extra love to those folks who are needing it. Oh, she said, sorry, left over from my medical days. So SX must stand for surgery. All right, we're going to pray. Vinny, you want to pray?
I can. Let's pray together. Hey, God, thank you so much for this day. We just give you all the praise and honor and glory today for what you've done, what you're doing, and even more importantly, what you're going to do. God, help us to know that you are in control and that you are the creator of the universe, and that everything that happens, or nothing that happens without you knowing about it. So, God, we just come to you today. We lift up the needs that we've mentioned earlier today. For those that have lost loved ones, God, it's just so hard to cope with and deal with the loss of someone that's so precious to you. But God, I know that you're able. You promised us that in your word. So God, help us to rest and trust you. God, I thank you for the praise reports that were mentioned, especially for Tamitha, God. And we just pray, God, that you'll continue to open the door for a permanent solution for her issue. And God, we just put it in your hands. We put it in your hands yesterday. We trusted you, and God, you answered our prayers. So we give you praise and honor before everyone that's watching today, to know that you are God. Lord, for those that are hurting, those that are struggling with whatever it may be, whether it's a financial issue or a family issue or a sickness or whatever, God, again, we know that you're able. So help us, God, build our faith, build our trust to know that you got it and that you're taking care of every situation. God, I praise you for every person that's watching today, just for what they mean to us. We wouldn't even know what we would do without them. God, I thank you for Shannon again today, Lord, as we celebrate her birthday. And I thank you that she's part of this family, and for all the work that she does, the sacrifices that she makes to help Maymay Made It grow. So, God, we thank you for her too. God, we love you, we praise you, and we just look forward to seeing what you're going to do next. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. I saw there were some prayer requests in the chat. What I would love for you to do, and don't worry if you don't, Tamitha will make a list of the prayer requests that come across the chat, and she puts them on our Facebook group, which is called Hide His Word in My Heart, and she will add those to our prayer list. But if you would like to go join that group, and if you would like to leave a prayer request there are prayer warriors that pray all the time. They will chat with you in the comments, and so if you need a more personal situation, you can go there. Oh, yay, April. April said she got in touch with Amber. Yay. I'm so thankful for Shannon today because we get cupcakes.
Hi, y'all.
We're like, there's cupcakes waiting up front. We're super excited. Thank y'all so much for being here today. I enjoy these kind of chatty, crafty conversations. And just remember this, just because I'm a know-it-all don't mean you have to go by what I say. Like, I just know what I like, and you know what you like, and crafting is what brings us together, so we're happy about that. So I hope you'll have a wonderful afternoon, and until we meet again, which I think live is next Thursday. I don't think I have another one before then, but I have a classroom thing right now. So we'll see you next Thursday live, and we'll see you for all our recorded videos in the meantime. Thanks so much for being here, and until next time, bye now.
Darcy, tell them bye.